Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here again. Obviously I'm going to try and start pumping out these videos while I've got the chance to do them, and I've been meaning to do this one for quite a long time now. I'm finally getting to it, and that is a review of the Bhati Khukri by Khukri Handicraft. Now it comes with a very traditional scabbard, okay, and it's very traditional in pretty much every way. It was completely handmade. There was no power tools used in its construction. I'll roll in some footage of how they were making it, just some short clips. And if you haven't seen my initial review, they're in there as well. Alright, now it's a 13-inch blade, 5-inch handle. It's I believe it's 9mm thick at the bolster with a distal taper. It comes with all of your traditional parts and accessories, including your carder, your chakmak, and your Tinder pouch. We'll get to that in a second. Alright, so the only thing I've added is this retention pin in the handle. Now, if you've seen my previous video, it was on an antique. And the antique was pretty much exactly the same as this, except it had a more curved spine and more curvature, like it was a continuous curve through the blade. This has the same sort of balance. It rings in the same manner. Slightly lower tone. That's about it. The edge geometry is different on this. Now with the antique, it tapered from spine to tip pretty much all the way through, and then had a very fine sort of secondary bevel for the coming to the final cutting edge. This has a little bit of a hollow forge in here, and then a higher bevel. No secondary bevel, just comes straight down, and there it is. That being said, it's still slightly, oh, you can't really see it properly, but it's still slightly beefier than the antique, only slightly though. Everything else is pretty much the same as far as specifications and handling goes. But today we're going to beat it up a little and see how we go with that. Enough about the main blade. Quickly show you the carder. It is a very usable carder. Alright, incredibly sharp. The distal taper on it is amazing. It just tapers off into nothing. Very, very sharp, very pointy. Very fine edge. You wouldn't go doing anything abusive with that. Chakmak, carved in the traditional way. Very beautiful, very functional. One thing I noticed with this that I haven't seen done before, and I'm hoping that it's traditional because it functions so much better this way, is that even though, I don't know if you can see it, it's almost got like a slightly convexed cross section along the side here. And what that achieves is actually really cool, because when they're perfectly flat, you've got to get right up near the tip when you're drawing it along your blade to maintain contact with the blade for honing. This one, because it's got that very slight curve, it's a lot easier to keep a piece of that edge in contact with the edge of the Khukri all the way up and through that recurve. So that's really cool, and it's the first time I've seen that. So I don't know if it was a fluke or not. Barun, keep making them like this, mate. Fantastic. It also has a distal taper on the chakmak, which is fantastic for drilling your bow drill divots and all that kind of thing. And this throws sparks when hit with quartz. So it does everything that a chakmak should do. Right, before we start chopping, last thing I'll show you is the Tinder pouch. Here it is. It's softened up considerably since I last stuffed around with it. That's because what I did is I got a tissue and I soaked it in baby oil and I just stuck it in there. Just stuck it inside the Tinder pouch, closed it, and just sort of every now and then I'd pull it out and just flex it. And the oil slowly absorbed into the dry, super dry leather and freed it up. It made it a lot more pliable, but what I'm going to do is, now that it's done that, I'll take the tissue out, see if it dries back up again. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully it'll stay pliable now that I've broken the fibers and the proteins up enough that it should soften. Alright, yeah, Patuka buttons, belt frog comes off, The bullfrog is very thin. Incredibly tough though. I was really surprised at how much pressure I've put on this and it hasn't budged. It's been fine. It's because of the kind of leather that's made out of. All right, beautiful scabbard, retains the blade and everything well. It is loosening up with time because I've been using this a lot, and you can see I forced a patina on it. All right, that's enough of that now. Let's get into the chopping and batoning and testing and all of that good stuff. Enjoy. Now, I want it to be known that the reason that I'm going straight to something so massive that we're going to be cutting through today is purely in response to the flack that I copped for chopping something so massive with my antique. Because, yeah, I know that these weren't designed to cut through this stuff. I know that. But I want to see what they can do. Not what everyone else does with them, but what I can do with it and what they're capable of doing before they fail, if they fail. Now, this is wet now as well. It's been raining for a few days, so that might make it a little easier, it might make it a little harder. We'll find out. But either way, that's why I'm doing and starting on such a massive piece. So I'll get rid of some of this bark and some of this dirt and crap. Might even flip it over so I'm not chopping into dirt. At least not straight away. Want to get halfway through the log at least before we start ruining the edge on dirt and rocks and crap. Let's start here. Righto. Getting some deflections, but it's really chopping through quite quickly. So I'm guessing, because it doesn't have that secondary bevel, that it means that overall the edge geometry on this is slightly finer. And I'm not chopping super hard with this. I am chopping hard, but it's more of a wrist flick and letting the Khukri do the work. The higher up balance point really helps with that. There we go, we're through. There you go. Let's split it. There you go. How good is that? All right, but that was wet and it was starting to go a bit punky. So let's see if we can find something a little bit drier, more springy, sort of harder to get through. We'll go again. Be right back. Right, here's a fallen tree that I've been meaning to sort out for a while. Again, been raining for a while, but it's pretty hard and pretty springy, so we'll take a limb off. This has already been split and tested before. Yeah, we'll just start taking a couple of these limbs off and then we'll get into something a little more solid. Yeah, see, this is starting to go a bit rotten and punky too. What about up here? We'll try it back here a little bit. This looks a little more intact. There we go. Bit more solid. Edge is still good. There we go. Yeah, good. All right, so we've done the big stuff. Time for something a little smaller. See how it performs with a bit of fine work, but before we do, there's your edge. All right, we'll be back with smaller stuff. Now, some people didn't quite seem to catch the gist of this, but this is closer to what you would normally cut with one of these, not the logs that I've been cutting. All right, so this is sort of a functional test at this point of what it should do, not what it can do, but I need to show it anyway, so you see how it should normally perform in normal conditions. All right, just wanted to clarify that. I'll move back a little further so you can see me a bit better. Here we go. Ow! Bastard. I'm going to keep that in there. I just got hit in the head with that. There you go, situational awareness. Definitely a thing. Carry on. There you go. So it does your small stuff too. I'm going to baton this piece. This piece annoyed me. My own fault, but this piece still annoyed me. So, don't have a baton though. I'll be right back, I'll get a baton. Right. Come here. Here's the culprit. Couple of knots in here, nothing too serious. Swap hands so I've actually got a bit of control. Here we go. There we are. That's what you get. Smack me on the head, will you? Yeah. It'll curl. Very sharp. But this wood's wet. Alright. So it's not the best example. See if I can find something I've cut up. This might be a bit drier inside. Yeah, it is. Alright, let's do a bit of carving on this with the main blade and then with the carder. You'd normally use a carder for this. I'll just put that out there right now in case someone gets all butt hurt. It's a bit short to draw a knife. Let's see how we go like this. Get rid of some of this bark and get into the actual wood. Yeah, this wood doesn't want to play. Again, cutting towards yourself is a bad idea. Don't do it. Don't be silly like me. Because all it takes is one slip and you're missing a pinky. Anywho, you saw that the main blade can sort of carve, with the balance point being right up here. Probably not the best thing for it, obviously. So let's get the carder. We'll try again with that. Be right back. All right, we're back. That's right, it's punky as well. Where's the bit I was carving on earlier? Here we are. Get rid of the bark. See if we can't get some standard little sort of feathers going. This piece of wood doesn't like me. I don't blame it, but it doesn't like me. My technique is obviously not that great either, but there we go. That's better. Come on. Because it is silly sharp, but the wood needs to be straight grained and willing to play the game as well. There you go. They're not the finest, but it's doing it. I don't know. There you go. See? And it's got a 90-degree spine as well, so we'll see if it can do the fuzz. Yeah, you got a bit of fuzz there. So it'll do it. But I mean, this is all like hardwood and stuff, so it's a bit of a problem. But anyway, that's the carder. It works. All right. I think that'll do it, eh? I think that'll do it for the Bhati. It's a fantastic blade. We'll keep it short and sweet. It works really well. There's a tradition we haven't fulfilled yet. Where's my leg? Let's have a look-see. Whoa! Lost the camera. We'll get the carder out the way. See if it still shaves after the bit of chopping we did. It should, obviously. There you go. And it's shaving, no worries. As it should. Okay? Because I haven't done that much chopping with it. And I only sharpened it last night, so... But it'll do the job. And it'll do the job for ages. And as I said, it rings out and everything's the same as my antique, so... Very, very good bit of kit. I do love it. Total weight of the entire kit. This is 670 grams, same as my antique, but the whole kit, with the Chakmak carder, all that, I think it was 1,060 grams for the whole kit together, which is really good. All right. So if you want one and you want to make some modifications, check out the Khotang Kukri, Khotang Kukri Handicraft website. It is listed on that website, and if you want a custom version of it, just hit me up via email. Thank you very much, guys. It was a quick and dirty on this one, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be back for the next one very soon. Cheers.